What a viewer getting reported to Ash 20 Mary Lee. It's 11:48 p.m. My city, Chicago. 99% on my phone. Thursday, July 3rd, 2020 at 5. I'm going to go all the way into 12:01, which will officially be Barack Obama's oldest daughter, Malia's birthday. She'll be 27. Imagine that. You know, she was smoking at one time. I don't know if she's still smoking. Probably because her father was smoking. You know, that's how I started smoking. My foster father was smoking. I thought he was cool. And I wanted to smoke. I don't know if that's the reason why his older daughter smokes, because he used to smoke. Uh, well, this is crazy, man. This is real crazy. You know, it's always the good ones, meaning me, you know, that get crapped on, man. Real talk. You know, Biggie Smalls said it best. You're nobody till somebody kill me. I wish y'all get it out the way, because that 2016 attempt while Barack Obama was still president didn't work. You know, when they gave me cancer, kept shooting me with cancer and stuff. And thought I wasn't going to get out and shoot him back with this real truth and talk. You know, it's a shame that, you know, when I got here, this guy named Steve. He's supposed to be the manager of Feather Fist or whatever. Supposed to be some little program they got going. It was all game. Lil' Kim said it best. The whole system's corrupt. You know, I asked him just to be trying to figure it out, right? When I first got here, May 31st of 2017, after they gave me cancer, the day after Mother's Day. Mother's Day was May 8th of 2016, and on May 9th, they started giving me cancer at the Cook County Jail on the psych ward, after making me homeless May 31st of 2008, so they could usher in this new world order and Barack Obama, allegedly the first black president, which we all know he was not. It was 7 black presidents that looked like me, you know, my color, that came before him. But, you know, that's the story y'all want to believe, you know, as far as him being the first black president. And then he got the nerve to try to kill me in 2016 because, you know, I guess I'm too cool and they trying to tie up loose ends, and, you know, they don't need nobody like me running around with all this truth, blowing a so-called legacy or whatever, which they never had without me. You gotta remember, y'all got me in this mess, you're gonna have to get me out. You understand? So, you know, in AA they call it acceptance. When you can't do something about certain things or whatever, just be like, acceptance, you know, we cease fighting everything and everybody. Well, you might stop fighting, you know, for you, but I'm not going to stop fighting for me, because like I said, I didn't sign up for all this. But back to Steve, the so-called manager of Featherfest. You know, I asked him, you know, when I first got here, I said, so when can I leave? He said, you can leave anytime you want. That was before they knew I was finna open up a can of whoop ass and stuff and get my so-called revenge and stuff. You understand, for what they did to keep their little business going and stuff, and that's trying to kill me. But I refused to lay down and die. Long story short, I asked them another question. I said, if I got violated, and I don't want to use the R word, you understand, and got pregnant, you know, what would you do? And he said, you know, I would have to leave. And he allegedly supposed to have 2 daughters, just like Barack Obama. Now, it's funny, guys with daughters, you know, would even think like that. I said, But I guess, you know, they don't look at me as a lady or somebody's daughter. You understand what I'm saying? I said, that's interesting. You know, but guys, they really don't like girls and stuff. I mean, most guys, they want a boy if they gonna have a child. So, you know, that's why I can't get my legacy off. If I was a guy, I'd be revered all over the world and stuff, you know, for all the humanitarian, philanthropist things I have done or whatever, including putting Barack Obama in the White House. The only reason why he made it was because of them 2 little girls, real talk at the time. Now they grown women, ladies, if that's what you know, prefer. Um, yeah, based on a true story, and all they try to do is kill me. Imagine that. You know, life is weird. Then they gonna leave me in this trap with alcoholics, addicts, all walks of life. You know, I've walked that walk also, so you know I could talk about it. I'm talking from experience. Now, when I got here, you know, they said it was a drug-free, you know, environment building or whatever program, and then you know, of course, they switched it up, and now everybody looking at me like I'm the oddball because I don't drink, drugs, smoke, or fornicate. Now I used to do all that, but why would I go back to something that I got out of and that my higher power, you know, got me out of and stuff? But not only that, I haven't found nobody as good as me as far as somebody I want to, you know, do dealings with, whether they smoke or not, drink or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't mess with drugs and alcohol people anyway, you know, because I think everybody deserves a chance to grow and heal from whatever they're going through. Now, with that said, times have changed. And I'm pretty much just rambling, trying to let this time go by or whatever and stuff, you know. But times have changed in my city. There's no love. It's just people just trying to, you know, get whatever they can, you know, and then they, you know, took advantage of the fact that I, you know, gave them my story for them to grow up. You understand what I'm saying? Open up their mind and elevate. And then they turn around and look at me after they done got their foot, you know, on the ground or whatever and stuff. You know, got a little bit of love going on. And looking at me like I'm the problem because I haven't elevated, if that's what they want to call it, when everybody know I'm priceless. They just won't give me my money. They keep stealing my stuff. You understand what I'm saying? They keep looking to railroad me one more time and act like, you know, I'm the problem, and they won, and they ain't got to be bothered with me no more. I mean, if that's the case, I'm out almost every day. You know, I don't have asset to, you know, what people do to me. You know, if you want to pull the trigger, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this. I'm going to heaven. Okay, I believe that. And that's why I work so hard, regardless if my government acknowledges me or not for being, you know, a productive member of society, but more so one that, you know, stopped a lot of wars from happening because I brought the Bloods and Crips together with rap and, you know, minimizing myself so they can elevate. And then y'all turn around and then act like I'm the problem. Okay, well, when the war starts, do not come looking for me because I'm not going to help you. Long story short, you know, when the police have problems, they go get psychics and, you know, people that can read between the lines or whatever the case may be. So what I did was give my mind to the world so they can see what's going on for themselves. So when the crap hit the fan, you know, you at least have, you know, an opportunity to figure things out for yourself because, you know, I ain't going to be around for long. You understand what I'm saying? I'm hoping every day I walk out, somebody just be like, pop, 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 and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Because they left me with nothing. They left me with nothing. I got all these clothes, pretty much, you know, dress rehearsal or whatever and stuff. You know, I just wanted to tell my story my way. And I did that, you understand what I'm saying? But I'm used to, you know, I'm the boss. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the reason why a lot of people made it and stuff and still alive and stuff. And then I walk down the street, they can't wait to smoke a cigarette, can't wait to smoke a blunt. You know, that's your story. If you want to go out like a dumb fool, go ahead. You killing yourself, but I'm going to move around. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to look at you like you're crazy and shit. That's your story. You know? But if you're a real Mary McNamara, you'll salute a motherfucker and shit. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not even a real American, so I understand. Y'all come crap on us, then go back where you come from and then act like, you know, you the big shot or whatever and stuff. Yeah, I got over on her. Really? No. Because my story hasn't ended. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. And only God knows what's going to happen. So I don't speak for my higher power, but I do, you know, kind of get a glimpse of the future. And I've always told them, like in 1995, I said, we are repeating history. And I'd be doggone if we didn't. And it's worse than it ever was. So you gave it to me like a pile of crap. I gave it back to you like a pile of crap. And when I die, you think it's going to get better? Think about it. All that money, we could have all been a millionaire at least twice, tax free. And then we could, set up some laws or whatever and stuff, woo out the band. But the way I see it, everybody going back to slavery. Look, I hate to be a damper on people's parade or whatever and stuff, but independence is for people who work for it. Land of the free because of the brave. I took brave steps in my life, thinking that if I freed myself first and then allow other people to, you understand what I'm saying, they would want to at least hold on to their family. Y'all don't even care about y'all family. And I ain't even grow up with family. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of selfish people in the world. Barack Obama, shame on you, man. Shame on you. Y'all need to find a white girl that was my cellmate at the time when they came and asked me, is he gonna make it? That's what the CO asked me, I was like, yeah, he gonna make it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was really hoping you was the man that, you portrayed to be to my people. But you was only thinking about yourself. And that's unfortunate. This is officially Friday, July 4th, 12 o'clock a.m. in my city, Chicago, 2025, 97% on my phone. Y'all try to take my sobriety in 2016. This is Job chapter 8, 9, 10, and 11. Ain't nothing but the police. See the 9 and 11? They think I'm going to get a job. You got me messed up. My job is to stay away from haters. That's my job. This the 9. And this the 12. Oprah Winfrey. All you had to do was put me on your show for 5 minutes. That's it. That's her birthday. January the 29th. That's all you had to do. 5 minutes. That's it. I'm not one that like the spotlight and all that. I'm just a real one that stood up for the ones who couldn't stand up for themselves. 1201. Happy birthday, Malaya Obama. Peace.